The following show features episodic breakdowns of Jackass, either performed by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. For your safety, avoid listening to this podcast at all times. Hi, I'm Mikey Aaronworth.
I'm Jason Wellwood.
And I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Welcome to Jackass.
Welcome to Jackass, the podcast where we're on a path of destruction through every single episode of Jackass.
We're just three lifelong fans of the show, reliving the belly laughs, bad ideas, and broken bones.
Today we're going to episode 2. Fuck.
Chris,
Episode 2, fuck.
I just have to say this. I don't want to step on you here. I have to say this.
Until I start talking, I forget how to not do it naturally. It throws me off.
You are so... It's like if I handed you a baby and said you need to speak to this baby and handle it softly, that's how you would speak to it. You just... Today, this podcast, like you're leading me through therapy and I'm in kindergarten, Chris. What happened on this day and when did this...
I thought I was going to get to go over a redo and I just realized you're working that into the bid, eh?
Oh, that's a bit.
It's all right. I fucked up too, but I'm cutting my shitty take out. I'm leaving yours in, though.
Yeah. It's the extra pressure of knowing that this is being filmed now. We are doing season 5 of episode 2 today. It aired on March 18th of the year 2001. And on this day, singer-songwriter John Phillips, writer of the song California Dreamin', started his permanent California dream because he died.
Oh, did he ever?
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
He died today, or on this day.
What is his permanent California dreaming? Is that because he's in Hotel California, like from the Eagles?
He's just fucking not getting up. That's all I know.
Well, you know what actually happened is...
he's done. He's dreaming for life now.
He made his appearance on the Jackass podcast in an episode, I believe the California bobsledding. He saw that episode, and he was so taken aback by it, he actually went into cardiac arrest. Luckily, though, they saved him, but he had to be hospitalized till now, where he passed away. He just... his song was in a Jackass episode. He couldn't handle it. It's too much.
You know what? I would lose my... I think I would have a heart attack if I found out that A, I wrote a song, and B, Jackass used it. I'm like, I didn't remember writing this song, but that's definitely my voice. Yeah. That would throw me off. I would definitely
He just figured, like, what more can I do in my life at this point? Like, I've peaked right here. I might as well just, kick the bucket at this point.
I can't wait.
Everything we say on this podcast is factual.
That's really dark, Mikey.
is factual.
But I'm with you.
And this is a hell of an episode we've got for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Season 2, episode fuck, as Chris put it, I believe, was... it's going to be a good one.
I think I said it's episode 2 fuck.
Episode 2 fuck. Speaking of episode 2 fuck, whose grandparents are these? They've got 2 Rottweilers, and they're having a real fucking hard time doing the Welcome to Jackass intro. And the thing is, they're trying to do it at the same time, Grandma and Grandma here. Grandma and Grandma? No, wait, one was the dude.
Grandma and Grandma.
Whatever.
Hey, very progressive for Jackass to include. Yeah.
You know who these 2 are? We'll later find out they are the dog trainers for the Rolling Stone sketch.
Yeah.
And what I don't understand is, if these 2 fucking geriatric fucks over here, they can't figure out how to form a fucking sentence, and you're going to trust them with these beastly German shepherds. Who the fuck hired these guys? They are so fucking fucked. I don't even know what else to say. Like, they're falling apart. I feel like
there are 2 qualifications for hiring specialists on Jackass. One is that they and this is the least important element of it. The least important element of hiring a specialist is that they know what they're doing. The second thing, which is the most important, is that they are weird as fuck. Like all the firekeepers, all the animal trainers, all the beekeepers, whatever it is, they're all just weird ass human beings, and these guys are no different, who don't even know how to speak into a camera.
This couple's about 2 weeks away from permanently California dreaming as well. Look, they ain't got much time left on their ticker, I'll tell you that.
I'm sure Grandpa's a nice guy when you get to know him, but I gotta say, Grandpa, you're buying your shirts a couple sizes too big, all right? This dude, not only does he not have a neck, but his shirt is way too big, and he's just the cutest little thing. Hey, credits roll, and we're right on into our first sketch of this episode, which is a big one. This is a milestone that they marked on camera right here. This is the Rolling Stone cover shoot. I remember think I remember seeing this out in stores when it came out. I mean,
you do. You don't think you do. You do. This was fucking
big.
Enormous at the
It was
time.
huge.
Yeah.
And Johnny is not happy at all about this. He's tied to a big piece of wood. His arms are stretched out, and he's basically got this big target, red and white target painted on his chest. He's about to take a bunch of paintball gun shots at pretty much point blank. The guys aren't that far away, and he's just pissed. I've never seen Johnny this upset to do something. It brought back memories of the speed bag thing he did in Jackass the movie that we talked about. He was about at that level of just fuck this. I am not looking forward to this. And man, he takes
that
a
crazy. There was something about this one where it's like your kid's misbehaving in public, where I'm like, Johnny, this is your big break. Why are you being such an asshole right now? Take a moment and realize that what you're about to do is going to put you guys on the map in a way that you've never understood. This is before the Jackass movie. Jackass season 1 had just happened. Everyone who is older than us who knew that we were watching Jackass would question what the fuck we were doing, but that's the generation that looks to Rolling Stone magazine to say something like, well, if you're on the cover of that, you're legitimate. You're in the process of legitimizing yourself, and you're being a little, not a baby, obviously, because I would never do that in the first place too, but I feel like he's been through worse, hasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Well, the weird thing
probably.
about the shoot is, like, first of all, the best part is one person, like, was just straight up aiming for the dick the whole time with the gun.
Everyone was aiming for the dick.
Chest shots, the target, but there was specifically one person. It looked very clear. It was just like every single shot was a dick shot, and I fucking give a lot of kudos to that guy, because you could have,
Who do you think it
got a
was?
little more. I think it was Bam.
It was
A
Bam
little
for sure.
jealous that he
Bam,
wasn't on the cover. You know what I mean?
dude, can we talk about that for a second? And before we do that, let's just say that we're going to be reviewing this stunt as the entire Rolling Stones shoot. It's not just going to be the paintball sketch, right? The whole time, the premise is that Bam is the one doing the damage to Johnny, and Johnny takes it, and Johnny is the number one. And it's so clear. We talked about this in the movie, Jackass, the first movie, Volume 1, where it was like Bam being side by side with Johnny was this moment where he realized that Johnny was in charge. This seems to be the actual moment where it became an enormous realization for him, and he did not seem happy about it the entire time. If you look at his face, he just seemed a bit off put by it. Like he deserved to be the one in the driver's seat there.
Good thing Johnny Knoxville wore a cup. That's all I could say.
Oh, God damn.
God, your dick would never be the same. He's taken...
And it isn't. He's on a catheter now still to this day, so it's not...
I don't think he is anymore.
His stick's
He's off
doing
it
great.
now.
Oh, is that
I think
true?
he's off it now, finally. The one thing I thought about this, too, it's like, this is Rolling Stone. You know, like I really liked the whole visual, and I do remember this magazine. I remember walking into, like, being at the airport when you see all the newsstands and seeing that Rolling Stones cover. It was very iconic. But you'd expect them to be a little more creative, because they started off with that. Then they went to like a sledgehammer. It literally got to the point where just a straight up punch to the face by Bam, which I'm sure Bam actually really enjoyed doing at the time. But it's like, that's not even funny. That's not even, there's no uniqueness. There's no creativity to that. I was kind of let down by that actually being a photo shoot, just a straight up punch to the face. It just...
That's interesting, but I always I see one of Bam's calling cards as punching the person next to him in the face. That's what he did. Not even the face, it's the back, it's the head. He just punches people in the head all the fucking time. So that kind of actually did work for me, but I agree. Once it gets to the sledding and things like that, I'm like, how important was this? You know, I feel like Jackass had become more creative by that point. But I liked being along for the ride. Everyone in the Jackass community was there, or like the actors were there, and it felt like this moment where they were all being legitimized, and I appreciated that. I think that was a bit fun. Yeah,
like I said, big milestone for the guys here. And the thing I got a question though is, how come Knoxville's the only one taking the punishment? I know he's the front man, so you kind of got to do it. But it's just funny that like he's just getting shot after shot, dogs, paintballs, punches, and then I think the only other person who took some sort of punishment was like a behind the scenes thing when I believe it's either Raab himself or someone in the BAM crew gets antiqued because they were just fucking around. But aside from that, it's just all Knoxville just taking a beating.
Well, I think this was not necessarily a Jackass photo shoot. I think this was a Johnny Knoxville photo shoot, if I remember correctly.
No, it was Jackass. Like it was very much Jackass.
Well, I guess it's like in that like No Doubt video when like You know, the band, they're getting famous and they only want to take the pictures with Gwen Stefani and the rest of the band are hanging out in the sidelines.
Exactly. Johnny Knoxville, I mean, this is everyone says this. Johnny Knoxville is Jackass's Gwen Stefani. Like that, we all know that about him. How about this though? The moment, so we move from the paintball obviously to the meat suit where Johnny Knoxville's filled with meat and the dog trainer sicks the dogs on him. And they cut to the dog trainer when the dog is attacking Johnny, and I feel like some people would think that the dog trainer looked afraid of what was about to happen. I read that as horny. There's no look on his face that was anything other than horny. He was so aroused by the fact that his dog was finally getting to attack someone. Like, he just looked turned the fuck on.
He was in another TV show before that guy, him and his wife. The Addams Family.
Okay. All right. I like it.
They're creepy motherfuckers, man. They're half monster ghost. They're not like, I bet you they're ghosts, honestly.
Monster ghosts.
Now they probably are. Now I think they've gone the way of California Dreamin', as you mentioned, I believe, or California. Yeah,
guys, I have a question.
They also
about
yeah.
Where the fuck are all the modern ghosts? Where are my modern ghosts at? You know, you only ever hear about fucking ghosts from the 1920s and shit. I want to meet like a 2007 ghost. Where are those guys at?
Well, maybe ghosts are like wine. They need to age for like 20 years before they're actually as good as they can be. You know, right now we're dealing with the ghosts from the 40s and things like that. So we got, 80 years of time to deal with. But, 100 years from now, maybe there's going to be some fucking Zoomer just popping up in your living room like, sheesh.
You know what? You know what, Mikey? Honestly, that made a lot of sense to me. Like, I was going deep there, really thinking about the timeline and what the different ghosts are going to look like in the future. Like, I really think that's the answer. Like, that is actually legitimately what
it could be.
They age like a fine wine.
They age like a fine wine.
And they come out screaming like a banshee. Sorry.
Speaking of, I would be screaming like a banshee if a dog bit my actual arm.
Oh, I know.
Like, what happened to safety precautions? The dog on set bites Johnny Knoxville's bare arm. Why is that happening? That is insane.
They queued that up.
I know. They wanted it to happen. That makes no sense to me.
That sketched me out big time.
Yeah, that's Jeff Tremaine dropping the ball. Do you guys have anything else to say about this one? I kind of want to give this one a review. This was a fun one to me.
Go for it.
Yep. Jump in.
Okay, I'm going to go into it. I have to say that this is kind of the culmination of everything that's come before it. So, the stunt itself, or the stunts plural, that came in, it may not have been the best, but you do get this feeling of everyone having a good time with it, understanding that this is the fruits of their labor. Like they worked hard to be at this point where they're on the cover of Rolling Stone and they're the superstars or the rock stars. And as upset as Bam was that he wasn't front and center, Bam has always only ever wanted to be a rock star, and you kind of see that out in him. I'm giving this one an 8.5 out of 10. I think it was fun to watch these guys just enjoy the shit out of what they were going through, and there was some fun and pain to be had along the way.
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It brought back some nostalgia. It showed these boys finally made it, and it seemed they were having a fun time putting everything together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jay, what about you?
You know what? This to me is like antidepressants. I feel nothing for this, so I'm giving it a 5 right down the middle. I have.
Oh, really?
I have no emotion towards the sketch. It was fun seeing the behind the scenes, but like I don't know, it kind of just felt like it was a humble brag, is what it was. You're like, hey, look what we landed, huh?
I can put it in the
TV show, huh?
Yeah.
Rolling Stone, Bob Dylan, by the way. Hey, don't miss that. Don't
like
skip
a
on
rolling stone.
They started playing that song when Johnny was getting suited up for the meat suit, and I was just thinking, yes, Bob Dylan. The first thing I think of when I see raw meat is Bob Dylan. How fitting. But there you go. That's it. We had it, the photo shoot. We got to scoot on downhill, that is, in our big yellow sled with Aaron McGahey. They picked the shittiest hill to go down, by the way. There's a big bump right in the middle of it, and he hits his bum pretty hard and flies off. Everybody has a good laugh, a good chuckle at him. Nothing really much to say about that one, but in my notes on this next one, I wrote Cam Margera, which must be the distant cousin of Bam Margera, seems to be down on his hands and knees in Phil's office. But what are you doing down there? Well, His friends are there with him. We've got Ryan Dunn and we've got Brandon there as well. They seem to be taking screws out of Phil's chair. The idea here is that when Phil sits down to balance his books, it will fall, I guess, according to Brandon. And then Ryan Dunn, I love this. He's the scientist here. He gets in there. He's like, guys, listen. You got to get the front screw out so he falls backwards when he sits. Thanks, Ryan. Couldn't have done it without you, buddy. And I love when they're setting up the camera, too, because we've talked about this before, I think, in the Phil shitting sketch. Like, does he ever notice these hidden cameras all around his house? Has he been trained to look for them? This one is so lazy. They just kind of put it on the shelf next to a stack of papers. I'm blown away he didn't notice.
He may have. I'm still watching this as an adult.
He walked in his robe singing. It was
Mike,
a very
you're
Homer Simpson moment. You know,
he was
singing.
singing. He was just. I just fucking love Phil. He just is like a big huggable. He's got his little tunes on. He's feeling good. You know, you gotta get in the move a little bit. Put on the robe before you do the taxes. You know, and this just the slow fall again. There's nothing better to me than a Phil slow fall. It was just like the lawnmower thing. It doesn't have to be this big chaotic fall all the time. Really. It was just a very anticlimactic slow fall, and just the shape of him just makes it just so awesome. I love these things.
The slow fall in this one, I agree, worked really well. I didn't like the slow fall as much in the lawnmower sketch from a couple episodes ago, mainly because they tried to sell it as a good fall. This one was just like, they didn't, beyond the fall, the sketch ended. It was like, that's all you get. Sorry, guys, we're moving on. And that was okay with me, because it was like, well, all this build up for just this. I really liked it, though. I did. This was a lot of fun to watch. The slow build up, Phil walking in, whether it's set up or not, I don't know. I'm going to assume that it wasn't, just for the sake of it, just to have fun with it. Was just fun to watch him come in, assuming no one was watching him. Like the same thing where you know, in the Jackass movie, when he's in his safe space, and when you punish Phil in his safe space, it just makes me so happy, and I don't know why. I just love to see him. Like, Bam is such an asshole. I'm telling you Phil's thoughts right now. Bam is such a fucking asshole, but he's not going to get me in here. Whether it's on the toilet or doing my taxes, I'm going to be going into this place without him. And then he finds his way to get his grubby little hands on you. God damn, it never gets old.
No, not at all.
Nope. Not at all. 100% agree with that. And I'm going to give it a rating. Phil, the Katamari, gets 4 out of 10.
Because he's rolling around.
That's exactly how he fell over. Rewatch it. He's a Katamari.
He picked up everything around him when he did it.
That chair was stuck to his ass. It's beautiful. I love it.
It was fantastic. I'm going to give this one wait, did you say you gave it a 4?
Yeah, I just feel like it was fun. It was quick and easy and dirty, but it didn't it didn't blow me away. I don't think it deserves higher. Like it is funny. You guys are right in its simplicity, but I don't know. Dude, it's just him falling out of a chair. This is Jackass, you know. I could have did that to my dad. And, you know?
Yeah. I get that.
He's not Phil Margera, granted, but still, you know.
I think this one was more about the build up to me, and because of that, I'm giving this one a 6. It's still not amazing, but I will give it more credit than just the end result.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm going with actually a 7 out of 10 again. The build up was funny. Phil's just charm as he's walking into the room. He just seemed like nothing could ruin his day. He was in the greatest mood.
He really was.
And then the slow fall. It worked for me. It's a 7 out of 10 in my books.
Nice. I like that.
7 out of 10, baby. And Party Boy is back. We are seeing so much Party Boy in these episodes in season 2. Like it's great. I love it. I'm glad he really found
They're
this
trying to get
gimmick.
the ladies viewership, you know?
Oh, you got to get those ratings. All about the ratings. But this one I was surprised to see. He strips down nude. He's in the park. You get Pontius in the nude, and usually, you get him in his underwear dancing around, but you wonder, okay, if he's going to go full nude, there's got to be some reason he's doing it. Well, when the camera starts moving, because there's a tree kind of obscuring our view here, we start to see that, oh, look, it's a football team. Yeah, this can only go really, really well, I'm sure. And for the most part, it does, I guess. I mean, he doesn't get hurt or anything.
Well, it's because he doesn't dance at them. He knows better than to dance at a football team, because he would have gotten killed.
He would have. And he kind of kept his distance a little bit here.
I liked it. It was fun. I don't know that we need to review this one, but it was fun to watch him put himself in a situation where he was dangerously close to losing his life, I think.
Or his wiener.
Yeah, or his wiener.
Or his wiener?
It happens in those dog piles. Who knows what goes on?
Now, listen, guys, this next one, Cowboy skate park, Pontius, Mike Kasak, various skateboard bros in the skate lounge. That's not what they call warehouses with skate ramps.
No, it is. That is, Jay, that is what they call them.
Oh, I
now.
forgot.
They're all skate lounges.
Pro skaters.
Yeah, you have to check in. It's great. You have to wear a robe. It's very elite. It's basically where you go after you golf. You come in from 18 holes.
That's not what they're wearing here in this one. And listen, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying they did it is all. Yeah, one's dressed up as a cowboy and the other one is dressed up as a native. Is that correct? Am I not being offensive by saying native?
Indian.
I'm gonna say indigenous. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Or how about a comic book interpretation of what indigenous would be? Let's say
Jackass
that.
is a minefield.
Guys, we're on a
Jackass
podcast. Don't have fucking holy fuck, man! It's cowboys and Indians. Jesus,
I'm just
this
saying,
is what the skit's about.
With the recent goings, I'm not getting into it. God damn it.
We're not doing it.
This is difficult.
Happened. It is what it
Jackass is. It's not my fault that they dressed in the thing, okay? I would have preferred it if it would have been some fun poo theme stunt that everyone could enjoy. But no, they have to go doing this instead.
I don't know. Methinks the lady doth protest too much, Chris. I don't know if you'll come along with me with this, but I think this is Jay's fault. I think this is specifically Jay's fault that this sketch exists.
Yeah, I wrote a whole essay on it, to be honest.
All right. Let me see that essay. I'm all about it, man. I'm open for some constructive criticism.
Now you're just going to throw essay around like you're a Mexican gangster all of a sudden?
Jay.
Actually,
Jay,
give it about,
what are you doing?
Give it about a couple years.
About? What are you making fun of Canadians now?
I'm about to say, wow, we are Canadians and we are offended by this, Jay.
I don't give a shit about my own people, but listen, in a couple years' times, I might just be a Mexican citizen, and I can actually back that up. I'm working on getting Mexican permanent residence, no joke, for real. So,
really?
So fuck you guys. I can say, cool. Once I become a citizen, I can decide who's offended. I can decide. Right now, I don't have that right.
Okay,
but I'm getting there.
Give it a couple of years, and you'll be back.
All right? I'm working on it.
You can have like a pencil mustache when you come back.
I already have that, dude. It's the worst thing ever. I can't go to parks if I haven't shaved in a couple days because the cops are keeping an eye on me. That guy's looking.
Fair enough.
I don't like the look of that mustache. Not around these kids. Human bowling is up next. We've got 3 teams, and those 3 teams are Knoxville and Wee Man, whose team name is We Haven't Decided Yet. You've got Bam and Ryan, the bananas, and Aaron and Dave, the orange shirts. Dave forgot his orange shirt, according to Brandon, our trusty announcer here. But Preston makes a second appearance in just 2 episodes as the ball. He's got that wrecking ball suit on again. I'm surprised to see this make a return so quickly. I thought that was a one and done. Nope, they're doing it again. They got the skate ramp out, and they're basically just sending him, belly first on a skateboard into some pins. And that's basically the setup. What'd you guys think of this one?
This one was fun because it felt like everyone was having fun, except for Preston. I mean, I mentioned in the last episode that it seems like you get Preston involved in a sketch, and all of a sudden there's like, you need a fucking therapist on set. Mm-hmm. Like, he just loses his mind all the time. Like, dude, I get it. It would not be fun to be like moment to moment living on the set of Jackass because you're constantly worried about, I don't know, your balls, your well-being, your sanity, your hair, because they're probably going to shave that off at some point. But like, this is also your bread and butter, dude. Like, if you're not willing to take part, just stay off set. It frustrates me when he gets so upset with things. And I know, Chris, you mentioned last week that you think that's kind of part of his charm. It's fine. It's fine.
I didn't think it was part of his charm. I think that may be what the Jackass guys like because they actually have someone they could get a serious rise out of, and it just cracks them the fuck up. I don't think it's charming. Like, I get that. Like, it's kind of annoying as the viewer watching. Yeah.
It feels to me like there are times though where when like Johnny breaks character and he's like, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm done. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. This is just they went too far. Preston Lacy's too far is not as far as some of the other people on Jackass, and he doesn't deal with as much as they do either, but he does tend to, like, the whole sketch has to stop so that he can punch someone in the chest because he was upset about where someone's hand went.
No. Bam peed on him. That's what happened. Did you hear that? Bam urinated on him.
Yes. Okay,
and he admitted it too.
Okay, I get it.
The thing about this that what made me like this is actually kind of complements what you were saying, Mikey, is like from the first time that he got bowled, he instantly knew he was going to have a really long day, and he was fucking miserable. So getting kind of annoyed with him at dealing with this and knowing that he just has to stick it out. They committed to this whole thing. They're all there, and he's just dealing with punishment and just going to be miserable all fucking day long, culminating with fucking the perfect bowling ball grip by Wee Man right in the fucking asshole. It just, it looked like that hand was meant, it was like a fucking key in a lock, you know, it was just meant to be in that fucking position. And because of I knew how pissed he was is what made me enjoy the sketch a lot more. I was just like, it was just fucking funny.
I get that. I do get that, and I feel like I'm making more of a protest of this than I intend to, because this was a fun sketch in spite of that moment where Preston was like, oh fuck this and whatever. Like, it did look miserable to be doing what he was doing. You are the punching bag in that point, which has to be embarrassing. And where he's landing off that ramp looks 3 feet deep. Like he's just barely off the sandbank. Like, how is he not landing on his neck every time? It's got to kind of hurt.
The edge of the ramp with his fat, like as he's not getting clean falls over, maybe banging his knee. Like it definitely, and then you're getting your head smacked against a bunch of trash cans, and you're wet, and then you got to come back up and do it again, and it definitely. And then
one of my favorite things is it keeps cutting to Jeff Tremaine just losing his mind laughing. That's always that's a great cut in Jackass. Whenever they do that, I'm very happy with it. I love to see Jeff Tremaine getting in on the fun. And then Johnny, the cut to him, where like he's, you know, obviously he's been a bit miserable, but he's also been a trooper. Preston Lacy has, and it cuts to Johnny Knoxville, and he says, "You're the crappiest bowling ball I've ever seen." Just like completely deflating everything he's ever done. It's great. Johnny just knows how to say the right thing at the right time.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know, like a key to a hole, Chris, as you put it. That's you're gonna have to call a locksmith for me on that one, because I ain't going in that hole. I ain't unlocking that door. I'm gonna give this sketch a simple 4.5 out of 10. I don't know. It didn't really do much for me either. Preston getting mad is not as entertaining as you want it to be. It is just kind of brings the energy down, and even when he gets asked, Preston, you're having fun. He's like, yeah, it's great. You can just tell.
Doesn't know how to sell it.
You almost can't even really laugh at it too hard, because you're just kind of like, oh, dude, come on.
Yeah. I can't remember which behind the scenes thing it was. It might have been an old Steve-O DVD or something like that, but they actually fully address Preston's anger issues. And really? I think that maybe is why I look at these things a little bit differently, because I do remember them finding it really funny. It makes them a little nervous, and it's almost like a stunt in itself, pushing him to that line and trying not to push him right over the line where he's literally going to freak out and punch someone in the face. But there's a whole bit about it on something I've seen somewhere. I wish I could remember where it was, but if any of the viewers or the listeners remember where that's from, please send me a DM, because I really want to watch that again. But yeah, with this stunt, I'm going with a 6. It was better than average. The boys are out there having fun. I like to see people's misery sometimes. Wee Man and his bowling ball grip was the highlight for me. It just fit. It was just, there's something about it that killed me. So I'm going with what did I say there? 6 out of 10, right?
Yes, sir.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm going. Look, regular bowling is 10 pin. This one was half as good. Or you use the small ball, you get some 5-pin bowl. I'm going with a 5 out of 10.
Wow. I wonder if any of the listeners will start being able to predict Mikey's score charts based upon the stunt and how creative he's going to get into it, because I've been noticing a few things. I've been trying to play the game myself, and sometimes I don't agree with the ratings, but they're a little wacky. But there's something to it.
Yeah,
I like to have some fun with them.
And whether or not Ryan Dunn is in it is also a large factor.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a huge factor.
Well, hopefully now he's moving past Ryan Dunn, and he's like now focusing on fucking Preston. Yeah, Mikey's got to make fun of a fat guy and just fucking hate him for being there and just not being happy. You know, like whatever.
Yeah.
So he's got to find someone to hate. He's a fucking bully, and you know, Chris, I don't deal with bullies. I fight for the weak.
Yeah, even though my older brother created a bully of me and now detests bullies. So thanks, Chris.
Well, I don't like you, so.
Hey, here comes Aaron McGahee on his little yellow sled. Whee! Too bad his daddy wasn't there to push him, but looks like daddy was out pushing the stroller instead. It's Johnny Knoxville in Daddy and Baby, part number 3. Pretty self-explanatory. I pretty much just gave it away to you. He's got this folding stroller. They got the baby in there. You've seen this in other episodes. We've talked about it before. And, as Johnny Knoxville is going down the streets, pushing this thing, falling over on top of the baby, people are kind of looking at him like, hey, wait a minute. They've done this one already.
Yeah. It feels like everyone knows that it's a prank. When I saw they were doing Daddy and Baby 3, I was like, oh, they're going to get super creative with this. Like, this is season 2. They've learned from their mistakes. This is going to be really good. Turns out, give the baby back to Dave Englund. I want to see him do Daddy and Baby 3. This one was not good.
It's funny, too, because it seemed like they strategically picked older people that might not have the best vision or people that look like they might be parents who are extra concerned citizens. Like, it seemed like they really tried to work that in, and it just, for whatever reason, it didn't hit. It was a little over the top, I think.
Little over the top and just not good reactions and very uncreative in the stunt itself. Like, there's not a ton to say about this one. Jay, did you enjoy this one at all, or are we off base, or you agree with us on that?
No, not really. I found it to be a little bit too much, honestly. Just, we've seen it before, and it didn't get better, so why I keep doing it, I guess. And I agree that having Dave Englund on the bicycle doing those like zero gravity moon flips with the baby was a lot more entertaining.
That was great.
Than this, where I see Johnny Knoxville falling over. He kind of falls like Ryan Dunn would, to put it in your own words, Mikey. He doesn't commit.
Yeah.
He just doesn't commit here.
That's a good one.
You can tell when he's falling, he's like protecting himself. He's trying not to get hit in the balls. And again, you don't want those big plastic handles going right into one of your testicles. But when he falls, he kind of looks around before he's even hit the ground. Like, did anybody notice? Anybody see that? Where's my reactions?
Yes.
He's like, he knows it's a sketch. He's not. I don't believe you, Johnny. I don't believe you. And I'm not going to say anything more on this. If you guys have more to say, go for it. But I'm giving it a 3 right here. Not one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm giving this one. If that baby were real, I think it would shit itself and give it a number 2 out of 10.
I was literally going to make the same joke. So,
well, I said it first.
I'm going with a 3.
Out of spite. Love it. I mean, that's all we can say about this one. It's kind of a shitty stunt. Good thing that all good things come in 2, as they say. This is Raab himself shitting himself on the side of the road. He's in a squat. He's popping a nice squat here, boys. He's got his ass hanging out. This is just in your local community. You could just be driving down to your friend's house to go, play a good old game of Yahtzee, and there's a guy pooping on the side of the road. And I want to take this opportunity right now to tell you all my story of the magic of a place called Buffalo Lake. Buffalo Lake is a vacation spot out here in Alberta that, it's quaint, it's small, it doesn't go out of its way to be anything special. And one day on the drive home from Buffalo Lake, I'm driving down the highway, and what do I see? I just happened to see a car parked on the side of the road, and I thought to myself, I wonder if that guy maybe broke down, maybe he needs help. Oh, hold on a second. As I'm passing by, going, by the way, 100 kilometers an hour here, you got to have a quick eye for this one, folks. I saw, no word of a lie, a mid-air log. I saw a dude squatting just like Raab himself here. And I happened to look right when that log was dropping from his asshole down to the ground. And I'll never live that story down again. I feel like the luckiest man alive. Who gets to see that?
Is that where your poop fetish developed?
No, we talked about this.
All makes sense now. It's like
I'm talking split seconds here, folks. Think of the speed of gravity on a nicely formed log, and I caught it. I could still picture that. That's in my memory like a Polaroid forever.
That is honestly, that's incredible. I don't know what else to say.
That's amazing.
I'm so happy. When you were telling that, I was going to go into a poo story when I pooed my pants, but I got to save that for another episode. I need to let this story marinate.
Yeah, don't follow that one up, Chris. That is an unbeatable story.
That is fucking fantastic. A mid-air poop. Wow.
There you go. I just derailed the show. We were supposed to be talking about Raab himself shitting.
No, Jay, honestly, we could spend the rest of this episode talking about that shit, and I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, that's a gold medal shit right there. Olympics just ended. If that was like if spotting shit was like, an Olympic sport, I would have won the gold medal because I spotted a good one there. But I got to say that...
on Snap?
At the good one. At the least, I earned myself 10 years of good luck.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Like, you love Pokemon Snap. Then you get to take the picture of the Pokemon Snap.
I got to say, guys.
You know what I also like is good jokes.
Right here, I have to point this out. Did you catch this at the end of the sketch? I love Bam's direction here. There's a car coming, and he says to Raab, here comes a car, poop, as if that's how it works.
Yeah, just do it, Raab. Like, what are you waiting for?
Is there people
just get another one?
Like porn stars is like, shoot your load now. Is there people that have that poo command?
Is that what the director does?
The best porn stars, they say, are the ones that have ultimate control of when they could come. It's like, I need you, it's a cum shot now, no problem. 3 seconds later, boom, 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 squirt, 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 rope, rope, rope. And then, that's that. So I wonder if there's, like shooting the ropes.
Yeah, I know shooting ropes, yeah.
You know, the triple rope shooter, you know?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Anyways.
But yeah, that's that segment. Unless you guys have anything
I
else
wanted to let him marinate in that. I just wanted to not say anything for like 10 minutes
I'll cut that out.
and let Chris.
I'll add 10 minutes. How about that?
Just marinate.
Dude, I had some
he looked so ashamed.
I had some like mythical like sound like when people are traveling in space, like.
No, I don't need to. You just provided the sound effects right there. We're golden.
Oh God.
So guys, what the fuck is going on here? What is this? Oh. I know what this is. This is my summer vacation nightmare, basically. This is tubing. Now, Bam's in a boat with Tony Hawk, and he says this is too much. I'm in a boat with Tony Hawk, so he jumps out naturally. I think we'd all do the same thing. You can only take so much Tony before you go insane, really. CKY1 theme song here, I got to point out. I recognize it immediately. And just seeing dudes tied... an inflatable tube tied to the back of a speedboat brought back so many memories that I don't want to relive. Fuck that shit. You guys ever go tubing? I feel like...
100%.
Does anyone like tubing?
I don't know.
Like,
why?
Everyone has tragic memories of tubing.
Yeah, I'm glad you're on my
fucking
side.
Dads.
Exactly.
All the frustration we've given to them on all the shit that we didn't listen to them and this. This is their one. Like, every single dad knows how to fuck a kid up on a tube. They can say, oh, the kid was asking for it. He wouldn't want to go. I didn't mean to do that. And they all know damn well what the fuck they're doing. We're all, like, scarred by it. I remember bouncing fucking, like, 5 feet off the fucking water.
Did it, too.
And, like, thinking I was paralyzed before. Mikey, when we were in Winnipeg, I think you remember that. Like, I literally, like, skipped across the water. And I was like, fuck this, man. I've never been tubing again. It's stupid. I don't really like watching this shit.
You were thinking you were paralyzed. I was hoping you were paralyzed because that would have been the end of my bullying days.
No, you just would have to fucking clean up my diaper and I'd make sure I eat Taco Bell every fucking day. Dude, I have fucking messy for you, little bitch.
Oh man, I have nothing. I have nothing but like PTSD
Corn again
fueled memories of all centered around tubing. Like whether it's my own dad making a fucking 25-foot wake and then laughing maniacally heading like head first back into the wake after making a giant circle and making me fucking face that thing like a man. And then we've got my good buddy Tyler. His dad yelled at me once because I got mud in the boat. And it was one of those kind of like yelling at you moments where like everybody just goes silent because it's so uncomfortable kind of yells.
Mud
like mommy
boat?
and daddy are fighting at the dinner table kind of yell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just everything around tubing fucking sucks. I hate it, man. Dude, I fucking hate it so much.
That just reminded me of like Mikey. Mikey's like so scared of the fucking lake, and he's scared of water in general. Like he to this day won't swim in a pool at nighttime. Well, maybe he will now, but it was
the
a
deep
big
end. The deep end. I won't swim in the deep
we're
end.
like Mikey was like a little kid, like legit a little kid, and we're on the boat, and my dad was trying to get us to all go tubing, and Mikey was smart. He's like, no, I don't want to fucking do that. I see what you do to the rest of the kids, and he wouldn't go in the water, and we're driving. And my dad just stops in the middle of water and hucks Mikey into the water and like drives away. And he was fucking crying, screaming. My mom was so fucking pissed off. Like he's like, well, he's got to learn somehow, which I kind of do believe in, but I think that's also part of the reason.
I knew how to swim. What do you? I knew how to swim.
No.
It wasn't a matter
of
of
life jacket on, but it's like facing your fears of being in the middle of the lake.
Yeah.
And
how about okay? Fine. I come to terms with my fear of being in the middle of the lake, and I develop a complex about my dad abandoning me to deal with my fears.
Mom was so
none of that worked
mad.
for me.
Like they almost got divorced because of that.
Yeah, I hope they do.
I was high-fiving Dad the whole fucking time, you little bitch.
I don't know, like, as much as we have to say about tubing, I don't know if there's much more we can say about this. I don't know we need to review it. But goddamn.
Can I combine the previous sketch and this one and ask a question? Oh, we've all peed in the lake, yes? Anybody here taking a shit in the lake? Like, you wouldn't do it in a public pool, but you've done that before?
You have, Chris?
Dude,
You're not just making a joke right now?
This is a good story, actually, honestly. this isn't a lake. This was the ocean. I was on my honeymoon in fucking Amalfi Coast, and I rented a boat and got drunk and just drove around the whole Amalfi Coast out to Capri. And my wife and me both needed to take a shit. And we like parked in a little like what do they call it, gravato or something like that, a little area. They have these little buoys, and all these nice boats are parked up there. So we attached to one of these buoys. She goes off. She's in mid shit. I already shat. She's in mid shit, and I see this fucking log pop up, and it was the most revolting thing ever. And the second she gets back up, this guy in this like nice boat, he's such a douchebag. He's like, "Oh, you guys are tied up in my spot," and like, there's no one has a fucking spot, but we had a shit boat. He had a really nice boat, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, bro. I'm fucking right out of here. I would go swimming right away." And fucking, I'm like, 100%. He went swimming right away and just saw this fucking log floating right around, and it was like the ultimate revenge. He was such a fucking dick. But yes, we both took aqua dumps that day.
I don't know why I felt the need to ask that question, but I am glad that I did.
Yeah, I'm glad you.
I didn't expect that.
Never would have came up. It was just fucking hilarious. The timing. It was literally seconds after she shit. He's like, "You're in my spot." I'm like, "Fucking take the spot, bro. I don't want to fucking be here."
So, Jesus. For this next sketch, this is the point in the episode where you have to check if you maybe took a hit of acid or something. Steve-O, is that you? Why do you have a perm?
Right.
Why do you look like Mikey?
Right. hey, wait a second.
Knoxville and Steve-O. Steve-O's sitting in a wheelbarrow, and Knoxville pushes him into a porta potty, and that's basically it. Like, this is one of those ones that just had me going, was that in the episode, or did I just imagine that? Like, why was that in there? It feels so out of place.
Without exaggeration, when I was watching it, when Steve-O came onto screen with the no eyebrows and that perm on, I literally spat my drink all over my face. It was so unexpected. I fucking sprayed all over my fucking living room with whatever drink I was drinking at the time. It was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Strange. An anomaly for sure. This next one, not so much of an anomaly. We've seen, probably in my opinion, too much of it. This is Preston Weeman doing their diaper chase. More recycled music that we've heard before in the show. I just feel like I've had enough of this sketch. I'm sorry to say it. Don't know what to tell you. Mm-hmm. This time they run through football practice.
Preston looked embarrassed in this one too. Like, I did not enjoy this one at all. Like, Preston's running around in front of like kids who are in like fucking great shape, and he just did not look happy about it. And I was like, yeah, let's let this one end. I don't like it.
Not much to say there, but thankfully we've got Knoxville and Pontius on the card to tell us that they overdid it last night. Seems like they had a bit of a bender. Too bad they're about to play some rugby. And I got to ask you guys, I haven't watched a lot of rugby in my time, but the Olympics were just on. They've just wrapped up as the time of this recording. And for probably the first time, I actually saw a rugby kickoff. What the fuck is with the lift the dude into the air to grab the ball thing? I thought they were just improvising.
Have you not seen that?
Like, you get extra points if you improvise during the game, you know?
No,
dude, it's like
a dead ball. Like,
it makes no sense.
There's a certain point where they both they have like positions, the best position's called a hooker. And you get the guys and you hoist them up, and it's kind of like almost like a jump ball in essence in basketball.
Right.
It's like a restarting a play. I don't know too much about the rules, but I know it has something to do with the restarting of a play.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's crazy because, I mean, Chris and I went to public schools that had no money for football, in spite of the fact that most other schools in the area did. And our school focused on rugby because you don't really have to even maintain the field that well. It's just give us a large enough area that we can run around in, and we're happy with it. So rugby's always been I've always had an interesting relationship to it, but goddamn, professional rugby these are big boys. These are big boys. It's crazy because, like, you look at Pontius and you're like, oh yeah, he's a dude. He's in pretty good shape. He was getting manhandled by these guys. They had nothing to say to these professional rugby players who train this way their whole life. It was almost embarrassing for them. And could you imagine being that hungover, dealing with it?
It's funny you say that, Mikey. I was in Thailand. I met a bunch of English guys, and one of them played for a pretty like a university in rugby. And he was telling me about the initiation ceremony. And it was things that I just could not believe. And this is just part of the culture of rugby. You get out of the blue, you have to be wearing a suit, and you get picked up, you go to this banquet, you get tied naked to one other person, then you have to drink, you have a big cup, and they make you drink straight alcohol. And then when you throw up, you have to throw up into the other person's cup, and they have to drink the alcohol. And then they make you play naked rugby with a turkey. when you're running around, rolling around all these guys. It is like, that's just like the tip of the iceberg. I could spend 20 minutes. This guy told me the story for like an hour. And
there's no way there's any benefit to that. That sounds
I was like, I would never do that. I don't care if you talking about. It was so fucked up. Like they said that, like people are dying of alcohol poisoning and shit like that, and they had to change things. But he's like, by the end of the night, there was like 4 inches of fucking throw up all over the floor at this pub. It's disgusting. So gross. And I'm like, but that's what these guys do. It just toughens them up. Like I don't know what the hell, why they do it or what it is, but it's not appealing to me. But I'm sure they're laughing at Johnny Knoxville and them thinking, oh, you're a little hungover. Trust me, you ain't got shit today.
I was going to say, do you think the athletes, like usually when Jackass comes in and they're like, hey, we want to do a stunt with you guys. And they're like, yo, this is my life. I don't want you guys to make a joke out of it. Do you think they were kind of happy to get their chance to be like, okay, you think you're going to have some fun with us?
With the way that
we're very familiar with this. Yeah. But they were all good sports too. It seemed like
they say an interesting thing about rugby. They say rugby is a hooligan sport played by gentlemen, and soccer is a gentleman sport played by hooligans.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's my British knowledge for the day.
Do you guys want to give this one a rating?
British knowledge of the day. Can we add that in? Can that be like a
do you see my nice little beautiful Liverpool top right now? I just got it in the mail.
Well, you already do fun facts. You know?
I'll give this one a rating.
Our friends.
I liked seeing them out there. Pontius was very impressive. He actually looks like an athlete when he's moving. The way he was joking, I know he was tempting them, and he was kind of doing little dances around to piss them off. I love the fact that they were openly hungover, so you knew it would hurt a little bit that much more. There wasn't too much to it, but for some reason it worked for me. I'm giving this a 6.9 out of 10.
Ooh, I like that. Jay, what about you?
Yeah, man. 2-on-1, they still couldn't take a rugby player down, even when they're just clawing and grabbing onto the guy's knees. He still didn't go down. That is a testament to the strength of a rugby player. I had fun with this one. Not the best segment in the episode, not yet, but good. I'm gonna go a little bit higher with about a 6 out of 10 on this one. And hey, one quick side note, props for the flogging Molly track, which I believe it was flogging Molly. I'm like 90%
No,
sure.
it was a play on flogging Molly. It wasn't quite.
I'm pretty sure that's
Molly.
an album opener for one of their albums.
Oh, was it really?
That's why I was instrumental.
I could be wrong, but I could be
fucking
Jay
wrong,
doesn't
too.
even pay attention to my ratings. He said slightly higher than my 6.9 out of 10 with
I
a
didn't say
6.
slightly higher than yours. Slightly higher than what I've been doing in the show. Is my highest rating in the show. Because I've been giving this episode a bunch of bullshit.
Love you.
Yeah, I like you. I don't know if I love you yet. You're all right. Mikey, go.
Yeah, I'm giving this one. I'm right there with you, Chris, on this one. A 6.9 out of 10.
You're weird.
Weirdo.
Still weird.
Okay, well, fuck my score, right?
Yeah.
Like, who even needs it?
We don't need it.
Who even
Moving
needs
on.
it?
Make up some weird
Let's just
ass-
6.9 out of
Yeah,
10.
good.
That's
Move
it.
on.
Nope, nothing even to say. That's it.
We don't want
That's
to hear
not my
you
fault.
anyways.
Your brother pooped in the ocean and told us about it. Like, all right.
It's called an aqua dump. All right.
We are ready to move on to our final 2 sketches of the evening here. We've got Steve-O up next with the Gator unicycle. This is a sketch that I expected a lot from. Let's see where it goes. Hey, buddy. Splash. Steve-O's in the water. I don't think he liked that. Do you like that, buddy? Hey, buddy. He just keeps calling him buddy. This thing wants to fucking tear him into 2 pieces, and he's calling him buddy. I don't get it. What did you guys think of this strange Steve-O sketch?
It was weird. Like, I don't understand what the point of this one was. Like, it didn't get much of a reaction. This is the kind of thing where, like, if you film this, what's making you think that other people are going to want to watch it? You know, like, it didn't feel like there was enough there. That's like, this is Jackass worthy, right? Once he gets into the water and he's kind of like playing around with his unicycle and getting close to it and stepping back, I was like, okay, I get it. I wouldn't want to do that, but also, what's the point? Yeah. I guess
no
like
direction.
this one didn't do much for me.
Nothing to it. It's dangerous and it's exciting, but there wasn't really. It just didn't fit.
Yeah, it didn't really go anywhere, unfortunately. This next one, in a sense, didn't really go anywhere either, if you consider that the purpose of your body's digestive system is to provide nutrients and nourishment to the rest of your body. This is Mikey's, one of your all-time favorites, I believe, the milk challenge. 1 gallon as fast as you can. Mikey, I know how much you love this. You talked about this very early on in the podcast. I want you to just run with this and tell everybody what this lovely sketch is all about.
This is one of my most memorable sketches of Jackass I think that I've ever experienced. I loved the idea, and I've always been tempted to try to drink. What is it, a gallon? I think that they're doing of milk. Each of them are doing a gallon of milk. You've got Aaron McGahey, you've got Dave England, and you have, I didn't catch the woman's name who was doing this as well. Blatantly missing is Preston Lacy, who had taken part in these competitions before, but I think had just learned from the eggnog challenge not to take part. I think it was interesting that they split it up between white milk, chocolate milk, and strawberry
what the
milk,
fuck
which
is pink milk, man. Like, fuck
off. Strawberry,
God,
baby.
Why?
That pissed me off so much.
Why?
Like, fuck the fuck off.
Can I
Why
hot
didn't
take
you
right
drink
now?
Pepto-Bismol, you fucking losers. Like, that was just an added disgusting. Pink milk? Fuck, milk is disgusting. Pink milk?
I agree.
Who got lucky enough to get
But-
chocolate milk, man? That was a fucking... They must have done a coin toss or something like that, but yeah.
No, get regular milk. You want regular milk, and clearly that's the case because the woman who does it deals with this totally fine. Jay, what's your
I think
hot
she
take?
dealt with it fine is because she's used to having white milky substances fill up her stomach.
Jesus Christ.
Like barium?
Like semen.
Yes.
Semen is what I'm talking about.
Oh. Semen, yes, of course. Silly of me. No, Mikey, props to like putting the spotlight on her though. She does exceedingly well, and
She
I will
kicks
say
ass,
that
yeah.
the whole time I was just thinking, Kristen is very reserved here, and she's also dressed the nicest. I want to see her puke the most. Fuck your shit up a little bit because everyone else is doing it. No, but hot take on the pink milk thing. I don't drink milk anymore, but if I did, I don't know. I might dabble in a little pink milk from time to time.
Oh, really?
Disgusting.
Time to time.
that seems
no.
gross.
It's,
Brown milk for you for sure.
it's like no, that's the staple. That's a staple. This is more like you're on vacation. You want something. You try something a little different. You want to have flamin' hot Cheetos instead of the regular traditional cheese. I don't know. Maybe I'll have zesty Doritos this time. Live a little, boy.
Just change it up. I'm still, but if you pile that on, I'm throwing up.
Yeah,
I'm throwing up no
It's
matter
all
what.
good, I know. Anyway, I think the best part of the sketch is when Dave says he has to poo. What a terrible time to have to poo.
Is Chris about to throw up? By the way, I think he's gagging. I think he's gagging.
Yes.
right now.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to plug our sponsor for this sketch. Our sponsor is whoever it was on Twitter that came up with the idea that Chris should get a puking snake tattoo for his birthday. That was
oh yes,
that was brilliant.
I think that was Aaron Omar.
Oh my
God.
Puking snake.
I'm so on board with this idea. I'm so on board with this idea.
Well, I have a bunch of shitty other tattoos, as you can see, so I might as well get a puking snake at this point. Wow. Good for that person.
Mikey, what's your favorite thing about this? Tell us why you love it.
You know what? It's just to watch someone struggle with trying not to throw up in spite of themselves. I don't know why, but that's always been something I've really enjoyed. And my brother has a terrible gag reflex, and he also gets hungover a lot. So I've had a lot of moments in my life where I really get to enjoy this, and I always have thoroughly. There's nothing I don't enjoy about it. This moment in Jackass, though, I think is the one that kind of like started it all for me. So after learning that I love to witness these things, seeing my brother do it in person was always way better than watching it in Jackass. If you were to ask me to rate this one when I was a kid, like watching it for the first time, easy 10 out of 10. I was a little bit disappointed watching it the second time around, like just recently. Really? It didn't make me laugh as much. I got just as much enjoyment out of the eggnog or the hard-boiled egg challenge as I did with this one. But I still think it was worth watching. Like I'd still go back to it. I love watching my brother almost gag right now on screen. If you're not watching this on YouTube right now, you're missing out on quite a bit. Did this one? Let's give him the stage for a second here. This is what I enjoy more. This is better to me than watching the milk challenge.
I understand now why you want to do video episodes from now on.
Exactly. Did you guys get any enjoyment out of it, Chris? I know you probably didn't.
Dude,
you absolutely hated it.
Last week, I had to like open up my restaurant twice, and it's like when I have to wake up that early and I'm like rush out of bed, I usually have a few drinks at nighttime. Like I threw up 2 separate days this morning just from brushing my teeth. It's like if I'm in the shower and I already think about the fact that I'm gonna probably gag brushing my teeth, and it's like I wasn't even hungover. Like I needed to throw up. It just builds, and then it's just like I'm getting ready and I'm gagging and I'm thinking about it, and then I fucking hate this shit.
No one has a worse gag reflex than you do, Chris. Jay, did you gag reflex aside, did you enjoy this one at all?
Yeah, this was the best one of the episode, hands down. I mean, I know a lot of the sketches were not the greatest, but yeah, this got me laughing. I had fun just watching how Dave is unable to stop puking. It's glorious. It just keeps coming out one after the other.
I loved it.
That's got to feel awful.
More. He's throwing up more milk than he drank. Yeah. I don't know how it happened.
I know. I guess he likes milky white substances too. Who knows? Had a little extra in the tank, So
I'm going to go ahead and rate this one because I can't talk about it for much longer. As much as I don't like these ones, this one, there's just the 3 different milks. So something about that was actually like, it gave me something to focus on and be curious about enough to get out of the psychological aspect of me wanting to throw up as well. It was still fucking terrible to watch. I don't like it. I even just thinking about it now, I started gagging. But I'll give it a 3 out of 10 instead of the normal 1 out of 10.
Miserable.
Miserable. Hey, it's a fucking upswing. There's no snake.
Jay, what about you on this one?
Hey, when we got to the end of this one, I gotta say, Kristen, holy shit, you finished without puking. Oh well, I guess it is possible. You can. Oh no, there it is. Jesus Christ, it's coming out like waterfalls. False alarm. This was fun to watch. I don't think it was the best thing ever, but it was funny. It was definitely funny. Worthy of a 7 out of 10.
Oh man, I'm giving this one, it's not quite the 10, but I loved watching them just lose their mind. I liked the mixture of the 3 colors, even though I think it gave some people an advantage over others. I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. Fucking loved it. Love watching people throw up. Why not?
There you go, boys. That brings us to the end of another episode of Jackass. We have a credits roll here. This is where it is revealed who peed on Preston. Yes, it was Bam Margera, as we mentioned. And I got to mention, we didn't say specifically where Preston got to punch Bam. He chose the throat of all places.
The throat.
Jesus Christ, man. Have a little more. He is not in it to have a good time, is he? Who punches someone in the throat as punishment? That's
no, he wants to kill someone is what he wants.
Oh. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. We go back to the photo shoot. We see Bam get hit with a fish. Bam hitting Knoxville with a fish, I should say. Why don't we do a quick shout out here to our Twitter and Instagram page. You can follow us there on both of them, at Jackass Pod. And we've been talking here in the group a bit about doing maybe some Q&As. We didn't really plan anything, but boys, why don't we just think up a quick... You want to do one right now? Just throw it out there? What could we ask the audience for this week?
Who's your favorite Jackcaster?
Oh, come on.
Don't even, Chris. I don't want you to do that to yourself.
Question.
100%.
Save it for later. Otherwise, we're going to have to live with that resentment.
Demographic than you guys. That's the funniest part.
Yeah, right. How about this? Have you ever pooped in a nefarious place? Ocean? Upper decker?
Let's go with that.
Could be anything. Yeah. Tell us the weirdest place.
And we will read your answers live on next week's episode. How about that?
Tweet us at JackastPod. That's another episode of Jackass. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week for Season 2, Episode 6. Don't miss it. We won't. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye. I'm Jason Wellwood.
Bye. I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Bye. I'm Mikey Aaronworth. And this has been Jackass.
Furnished by Sad Styles Productions.
Get into it!
This was a Press X for Sound audio production.